Let's go to the point about whether U.S. companies can make the steel that would be used in the Keystone and Dakota pipelines, and specifically whether your company makes that kind of product.
Absolutely, Tyra. The American manufacturing base on steel is fully prepared to supply what is needed for the pipelines and for the general infrastructure projects that are certainly going to come. Our company has developed over the years a full-fledged of capabilities, but we mostly have focused on the OCTG side of the markets.
What is that? Tell me what that is, because I don't know.
That is more focused on the energy side, but the exploration and production. But we are fully capable of supplying all of the substrates that go into the production of the very large diameter pipelines.
So you could definitely benefit one way or another, if not by making the pipe itself, by contributing the components to do it. One of the things that we've been probing over the past couple of days has been the possible sort of intellectual disconnect between being a pro-business administration on the one hand and a pro-protectionist administration on another. I'd like to hear your view about whether you can be both of those things at the same time.
Well, my understanding is that the administration is fully committed to improving the contribution from manufacturing to the economic development of the country, and therefore promoting what is widely known of an increase in the quality of job creation that can come from that perspective. One of the important things comes from the fact that, over the past couple of decades, several thousands of plants have lost in the United States operations, and many people have lost their jobs. And a significant dimension of that has been a consequence of unfair trade. So you have to be promoting an ability for manufacturing to contribute to the economy, therefore creating good quality jobs, and making sure that the rule of law is what governs all of the globalized environment in which we participate, so that folks can benefit from better quality jobs to be created here.
You addressed in the conference call the role of tariffs and how tariffs are actually working, preventing Chinese steel from being dumped here in the United States. But there's plenty of steel that gets moved to other markets which aren't subject to tariffs and then brought back into the United States. So I'm curious what you see for pricing, and within this context, if America used American steel to make whatever it's going to make for infrastructure, is that going to cost the American people more? As you've seen, the president is very cost conscious when it comes to spending the American people's dollar.
Absolutely, Melissa. The transshipment is a practice that has been used in a very nefarious way that damaged the ability of domestic companies to benefit from the businesses that were available. And it normally comes from the fact that a subsidizing country moves their steel to another country, in many cases relabel it, and it has made more difficult for the trade laws to be enforced. So this is one area where we've been working very close with the government in order to improve the definition of injury that applies to the trade environment, but also make sure that we have the capability to see where inappropriate transshipment is taking place, so that the rule of law applies to everybody in the same manner. In that environment, we don't have a problem in competing. As far as the cost of product, you have to understand that if you're dealing with the completely artificial prices that come out of a subsidized environment, those are not sustainable. And that's not the way in which the global trade environment has been designed. That's called a circumvention of the law. And I believe that if you can increase the manufacturing contribution to GDP, you can create better jobs. The economy grows then at a higher rate. You're going to be creating better paid jobs, and you need to look at this as the overall virtuous cycle that comes of a fair, balanced, and supporting environment for the participation of manufacturing.
Yeah. Mario, I want to ask sort of the same question Tyler did in a different way. Can you produce steel for a pipeline like the Dakota Access, which the Army Corps of Engineers today was basically ordered to complete right now? I mean, if we say, I need steel for a pipeline now, can you do it? Can you make it? Do you have it?
Absolutely. The American industry is fully capable of producing what is required here.
It sounds like, though, Mario, in the answer to my question, just to sort of piece the two together, that if we were to use American steel, not U.S. steel, but U.S. steel's American
Correct.
steel
Also
for any of
steel
these,
also.
right, for any of these projects, that it would in fact cost more because the other steel on the market is subsidized in such a way that is not sustainable, but it would cost less. Is that correct?
It is. It's an artificial cost that is being used to create this environment. So I think for the long term, if you have a fair environment where the same rules applies to everybody, and you do create economic development that improves the participation of folks in the economy, and you can then have better paid jobs, et cetera, in the overall scheme of things, that's the way in which the globalized environment should behave, and it will be good for America.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.